This is Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com, and this month in my Think Outside the Box video, I've come up with some fun alternate project ideas using the contents of the June 2016 Paper Pumpkin Kit from Stampin' Up, titled Banner Surprise. As you can see on the cover of the directions, you get the supplies for making these 6 fun and unique banner-wrapped cards. You can follow the full step-by-step directions and even refer to the how-to video to make the cards with the wrapped banners, as my son Luke did yesterday with this one. Didn't he do great? And he's just 9 years old. Or you can go beyond. Toss the directions aside, change up the kit contents, and create something completely outside the paper pumpkin box, as I'll be showing you in my video today. Grab your scissors, and Stampin' Up! Provides everything else that you'll need in these paper pumpkin kits, even the stamps and the ink that you can continue to use in future projects. Besides being super affordable at around $20 per month, including the shipping costs, they're compact, so you don't need much space to store them. And they give you 30 minutes of creative therapy, they make perfect gifts, and they're great for kids and adults, whether you're male or female. Now keep in mind, each kit is a surprise. I don't even know what's coming each month, but that's the fun of it. If you don't like the intended project, then you look for other people like me on the internet sharing our ideas. I share my ideas in videos and on my blog. Plus, if you subscribe with me as your demonstrator, I'll send you extra ideas each month that are exclusive to my subscribers only. There's really no excuse not to get signed up. If you start a subscription, and you can follow the links below to do so, but then you decide it's not for you, you can cancel at any time, because there's no commitment. You'll definitely want to be a subscriber though after checking out what can be created with these very affordable kits. I'm excited to share, so let's get started. Keep in mind, most of the extra tools and products that I use in this video can be purchased from me in my online store, and they're listed and linked below. When you get your first kit, it comes with a little cute welcome card like this, and it will come with clear block. Now, I'm going to be using a different clear block during my video. It's the one that I can order in my online store. This is Clear Block D, which is the equivalent size to the free block that you'll get in your first kit. I'll also be using my full stamp pads rather than the mini spots because it will go quicker when I'm stamping. And just a quick little lesson on how to get your stamps onto your blocks. You'll want to lay them first on your grid paper like that so that they stay the shape that they're supposed to be, and then you just squish down to pick them up like that. That way they won't be twisted. Now if you want your stamps to have a different kind of shape to them, you can always curve them the way you want. That is the beauty of photopolymer stamps. For the first project, I'm going to be making a card. And so I'll need my paper trimmer, my basic black cardstock to trim the paper with, basic black ink, which you may have gotten in a past kit if you've been a subscriber for a while, the scissors, of course, we call it our paper snips, the green glue or monoliquid glue, and then a toothpick. And what you're going to be using the toothpick for is to pick up those sequins. So if you can do this now, this is a great idea. You're just going to take your glue and you're going to put just a little bit on the end of your toothpick and allow it to dry for at least an hour so it's nice and tacky on the end. I've learned by making videos over the last, a couple of years, that when I have black cardstock showing by itself, it does something wacky to the screen. Do you see that? So I'm just laying this on here so you can see that I've got my black cardstock in my trimmer. You have 2 blades on your trimmer. I've labeled my scoring blade score so that when people use my trimmer they know, but also just to help yourself, you might want to label that the scoring blade. Then you're going to trim your paper in half, and I've got it at the 5.5 inch mark. After I've done that, and I'm just going to pull this out here because I've already done that to another sheet, then you're going to take that cardstock and you're going to turn it a quarter of a turn around, so that, 90 degrees, and you're going to score it then at this point. So 8.5 inches this way, scored in half will give you 4 1/4, so you're going to score your cardstock, and now you've got a card ready to go. You'll also need to prepare a couple pieces from the kit. For your card base, to decorate the front and the inside of your card, you'll want to cut this piece in half, the card from the kit in half. You'll be using the white side on the inside of your card and the striped side on the outside. So you'll need both halves. We'll just take this one for now. And then you'll also take one of the envelopes, and what I did is I trimmed along the bottom. I went along that seam and trimmed there. And then you'll also want to trim here at this back seam so that you've got lots of green paper to use up, okay? And the last couple things you can do to prepare for the card is to trim off the extra flaps on the side from the envelope and to trim along that bottom portion so that you have a nice right angle here, because we're going to be using that to layer to the back side of this card when we add it to the front of our card. And then the other thing is to just pour a bit of your sequins into a container that's easier to reach from, like something like that. Okay, let's start with stamping. We're going to stamp the words Happy Birthday using basic black ink. And I think I'm going to start with the word birthday at the bottom. Place it right about there. And then make our happy right above it, centered, right about there. Okay, next we're going to use some of the washi tape from the kit. And we're just gonna, let's see if I have a longer piece here. We're just gonna mask an area on our card, like right there. And maybe I'll even mask up a little higher because I don't want it to go too far up. We'll open up our mint pad. This one comes in your kit. We'll ink up our stamp. We'll use the mask and we'll stamp right here on the bottom over the washi tape, and the only part that is getting stamped on then on our card is the white area there. Do you see that? Okay. There's still ink on it, so you're going to grab a tissue paper and wipe that away, and then we'll reposition the washi tape. Place my washi tape in these couple areas, and I'm going to stamp some more rings. And if I wanted to keep going, I could certainly do more, but I'm going to stop right there for now. And we're going to layer this onto our envelope. And this is such a basic supply that I use every time I forget to mention it. We're also going to be using our snail adhesive. Snail, what does that stand for? Simple, neat, affordable, inline. I'm serious, it really does. Okay, we're going to layer that onto our envelope piece back here, and then we're going to layer this onto the front of our card. Now remember, we're not using the full envelope here, so I didn't put adhesive all the way over, and we're also not using this full card. We're going to actually kind of give it a slight tilt, so you can either put, you know, kind of eyeball where that's going to go and do this, or you can, I don't know, measure. I didn't want to measure, so I'm just eyeballing it, and I'm just going to place it there. And then you flip your card over and you use your long scissors if you have one. I should have brought that too. Oh well, the snips will work too, but a longer scissors, you can kind of do it all in one swoop. And we'll do a little bit of decorating on the front, so that's not completely done, but let's open it up quickly. Grab that away. And then on the inside of your card, you can layer the other half of your card, now showing the white side only, with some remainder envelope piece. And I think I did have to do this with my other one too. I had to kind of get creative. I did use one envelope. I almost got frustrated there, like, what did I do? But I remembered now what I did. I used this edge and this edge here to do the inside. Do you see? So I made this flat, and I still had that long piece to use on the inside of the card with my white backing. Phew! Okay, do you see these little sequins here? I'm going to show you how to do that on the front. So let's open up the card again. I'm going to lie it flat. I'm going to take out this green mono liquid glue, and I'm just going to add a few little dots. I'm using my card up here that's already done, and I'm cheating. I'm looking at it and you are not. But I'm just going to add a few little dots of glue here and there. Too much. So we'll pull out our sequins now. We'll pull out that little Q-tip with the tacky surface, and we're going to go fishing for some green sequins. Alright, let's see if we can find them in this light here. I hope that's one. I think it is. And you're just going to lay them onto the glue area of the glued areas of your front of your card. And there we have our fun happy birthday card. Here's another version of it, doing the same thing. Super simple, barely any extra supplies used, just the black cardstock, black ink, a trimmer, the glue, you know, fun. Let's do another card. For this next card, you'll need some punches of various sizes, circle punches. I'm using the 2-inch circle punch because it's slightly larger than the circle piece that comes in the kit. I'm also going to use 2 smaller ones that fit inside each other pretty well, the 1-inch circle punch and the 1 1/4-inch circle punch. And then I've got some peach cardstock. This is our new Peekaboo Peach colored cardstock. The paper snips, of course, are scissors. Some mono liquid glue and the toothpick that's pretty handy for that mono glue, and some snail adhesive. So the first thing, I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap paper here so we have a place to stamp on. I'm going to use the Tip Top Taupe ink that comes in your kit and the stamp that has the little lines on it. And we're going to stamp that on the outside edge of our circle that comes in the kit. Next, I'm going to bring some stickers in here. I'm going to grab one of the hearts, and we're going to grab the letter U, and we're going to put Love You on here. Cute, huh? Clever. Clever and cute. We'll set that aside. We're going to punch out some circles now from our Peekaboo Peach cardstock. We'll grab one of the larger circles, and that's what we're going to layer this onto. And then we're going to punch out 4 more circles, but to do so, we're going to do a couple within. So we're going to first do the smaller one, and then the one next to it is going to be, the next size up is going to be off center and punched as so. So we got 2 circles out of it. One is empty in the middle and has kind of a fun, funky 60s look to it. And then the other one is just the full circle. And I've got a couple of those ready to go. Let's go ahead and add this to our larger Peekaboo Peach piece. Like that. And now let's take the base of our card, fold that in half. And this is where we have fun with a few of the supplies that already come in the kit. We're going to do some washi tape along the white areas of our card. Some of you may have already thought of this idea. This tape fits perfectly in that white area, and it even fits perfectly on top of the taupe area too, if you would rather put it there. Then you just turn it over and trim. We're going to do that all the way up the back side or the front side of our card. And then we're just going to make sure there's a little notch there because we're going to wrap ribbon through as the sample cards show. And we'll start doing that now. Let's grab some of that ribbon. Let's measure first. So what I'm going to do is take this ribbon and kind of see how much I need. I'm going to do a bow, and so I need about that much, and I'm going to double that. And we're going to keep them together and feed them through from the inside of the card to the outside. And then to shift it, all you have to do is just kind of bend your card a little bit like that, shift it over, make it come down like so. And then you can also remove some of the kink in the ribbon by doing kind of like what you would do with curling ribbon for wrapping presents. You just use the side of your scissors, or if you have a sharp enough fingernail, you can kind of remove it just by running it along like that. Okay, next, let's go ahead and add this guy. Oh, of course, I would forget another supply when I was showing you all the supplies in the beginning of the card. Dimensionals, you'll need to grab some of those. And we'll stick a few of those on the back. And we'll just add that right there. And then we're going to grab this mono liquid glue and add our fun little outline 60s circles. Now I'm not even squeezing this thing, I'm just applying the glue. You don't want to squeeze too hard, because if this tacky glue comes off, comes out too much and it squeezes out the side, you're gonna feel it on the outside because it dries tacky. So just add a little bit of that to those two. And then you can just trim off the excess and even add that to the bottom of your card. As if you have another circle. There we go. Now you've got that toothpick again that had the mono adhesive that dried on the end of it. So you'll grab your container of your sequins and you'll start applying those. Let's go ahead and add some little dips of glue here and there where we would like to have those. And there we have that completed card. Now you could decorate the inside if you'd like to too. I kind of went overboard. This one, well, I love the sentiment area in this card more so than on this one. I didn't think it stood out that much. But on the inside, I got a little crazy and just added a few more circles. I also added some twine going across this way. So, you know, you can do whatever you want, of course, but those are a couple more ideas of cards, alternate cards that you can do with this kit. Now I haven't used those little tiny cello bags yet, those triangular bags. So let me share with you first a banner that I created for our upcoming holiday here in the United States. So for this project that I'm going to share with you, I did use quite a few extra supplies. I used our red glimmer paper. I used our not brilliant blue, oh my gosh, that's an old color, Pacific Point and Real Red stamp pads. I used our star border punch, and you could either do, like what I did is I used some yellow staples, and I had these from years ago from a company, I don't know, I bought them online, but they're kind of a goldish yellow staple. And so that went really well with my gold ribbon that I'm using, but you could instead use the packaging tape, clear packaging tape, or a washi tape that you like that maybe has a red, white, and blue color to it. And then you wouldn't have to use the gold ribbon. I just used it because it went with the gold stickers. And then I also used the Brights sequins that you can get in our catalog. And slowly I picked away as many of the gold stars and circles as I could out of that container so that I could use just the Pacific Point or the blue color. So let me share with you my banner that I made with several of these fun little cellophane bags. So you can see here in each bag I have some confetti partially created by the the punched out stars from the glimmer paper. So I just punched them out. They are white on one side, red on the other. So I've covered my red and white, and then with the sequins from the Brights collection of sequins, I've covered my blue. So I've got those all at the bottom of my bag. I've got every other circle stamped with the dots or the lines. So they're just kind of going every other. And then of course I've got Happy 4th, all written with the stickers in there. And to hold the sequins and the circles in place, I didn't put washi tape across there. Again, you could do packaging tape or whatever. But after I weaved the ribbon through, I then took and stapled. I think you can see, maybe from the back side you can see better there. But there is the yellowish or goldish staple that's in there. You could do silver ribbon. This comes in silver too. And then you could just use the regular kinds of silver staples. So there it is, Happy 4th. And I'm going to bring that to the cabin this coming weekend. And we're going to have a fun little banner decorating for our 4th of July festivities up there. And here I zoomed out a little bit so you can kind of see the whole thing. So there it is, Happy 4th. But let's say you are not a fan of banners. Banners just aren't your thing. What else can you do with these cellophane bags? They're triangular shapes, they're really odd, you can't really stand them up on their own. They have these holes on the end. So I was trying to figure out what can I do with these? How can I make them into something else. Now there's some fun ideas that have been generated on the Paper Pumpkin Fan Club on Facebook, so you'll want to check those out. Some people are using them as Christmas trees, and they tape up the bottom, and they've got a little tree on the front of their card or a beak. Just clever ideas. And so get on there and make sure that you check those out. But before I started seeing what other people had in mind, I went on Pinterest and I said, how can I seal these plastic bags without having to buy a machine or whatever? So this is what I'm going to share with you. You're going to grab a washcloth, and I'm just going to move my little spongy board out of here. In fact, I'm going to move this too, because I have a feeling that might not be able to take the heat as much as my wood table here. So, and I'll just put my paper over the top. So I've got my washcloth, and then I've got some paper there. I've got some foil. And I've got a bag that has been filled with candy already. Let's see if we can fit that one in there. Okay, so here's the trick. Is it gonna work on camera? We will see. So we're gonna take and lay this down. So I'm carefully holding back the candy. And I'm gonna try to fold this in half here, so that the edges, the straight edges of my foil are lined up. Okay, and then I'm going to grab either, and this works because I tried both of them, either a flat iron or an iron. So a flat iron's for hair or an iron for clothes. And you're just going to come in with the high heat and seal it. It's crazy and incredible, and it works. So you open this up now. And there we have our plastic that has been sealed shut. So you can put in there things like, I don't know, craisins, or here's another one that I did. I did almonds. Look at the perfect portion size almonds. So you can stick that in your kid's lunch, and they're sealed. And you know, you get this little weird edge on here because it's melting the plastic, of course. Then you can just come along and trim it so it's nice and neat. And you don't have that weird little hole that you get, you know, that the bags had. So perfect little sealed up bags just by doing that. Another idea that I had with these fun things is, well, they're cone shaped, right? And one issue that I always had as a kid, and I see my kids still have that issue, is drippy ice cream cones. You know, you got those sugar cones and they come to a point, but no matter what, the ice cream always works its way through the bottom of the cone. So now we have little cone protectors, and they have to hold onto both the cone and this in order for them to stay there, because there's nothing sticky on the inside. You don't want to put something sticky on there and then have that stick on your cone, and then you got like glue dots on your comb or something. But I did figure out how you can wrap it on here, really fairly simple. So you stick your cone in here, and see you got lots of give. There's lots of movement in there. So you're just going to take your glue dot or other kind of adhesive that's nice and strong, and you'll peel off one of them like that, and you'll stick it onto an end. Doesn't matter which side, but once you have it on there, then you'll just firmly hold it and wrap it, and now you can fill the cone and give it to your kids with ice cream in it. They can go out on a hot day and sit there and lick and lick and lick to their heart's content, because it won't go through the bottom and drip all over their legs. Fun ideas. Okay, and then another great idea that I had with these little bags, oops, I have to grab one, is making a flower holder. So I don't know if you can see that there. It looks like a little triangular bag with the bow in the middle, and then we got flowers sticking out. And for this one, I used a past paper pumpkin kit with the current one. So I used this one here, and I can't remember which one it is, so I will write that in the little description below here. I've also got the Pear Pizzazz cardstock for the strips, and I cut that with my paper trimmer, and then I used some Tangerine Tango ink for the lettering and for these little dots. And the dots also are a stamp that come in the June kit. So I used two combined kits, plus some gold ribbon there. So let me share with you how to make this fun holder. You're gonna grab a cellophane bag, one of the triangle bags, and you're going to stick your finger down in there to try to move it. There we go. We're going to move it in this direction. So now we've got our triangular bag folded the opposite way. You don't want to crease the edges here. You want to keep that looking as such. We're going to grab our trimmer and trim our ribbon so it's coming to a point, a nice sharp point. And that will help to weave it down to the back and up. Let's see if I can line those holes up again. They got off. And up through the front. There we go. And once that is done, then you'll just tie, you'll position it, center it, and then tie a little bow. And then I just trimmed my ends. You could keep your ribbon long if you want to. You could even use the twine that comes in the kit to do this. But I liked using the silver 1/8 inch ribbon. On this one I used the gold. Some other supplies that I used that I'm going to use to make another version of that card will be that mono liquid glue, of course the Q-tip for picking up the sequins, my snail, my snips, some white, Whisper White cardstock, and then I'll be using my trimmer to prepare the card. I'm also going to use some glue dots, some dimensionals, which you might have in past paper pumpkin kits, and then some papers. Extra papers will be the mint macaron cardstock, which matches the mint that's in the kit, and then some designer paper, and this comes from our Blooms and Bliss designer paper. And I've already trimmed out one of the flowers from that, and I've trimmed just a really thin piece of cardstock from the mint cardstock. And of course this has mint in it, so it coordinates really well. Let's cut the base of our card, so 5.5 inches, and then score it at 4 1/4. Fold it in half, set that aside. We've already used this ribbon, so we can scoot that out of the way. Next we'll take our glue dots and we'll put a glue dot on the back side of our flower holder at the top and at the very bottom. And then we'll position that down in the corner here, like so. I did grab a glue dot on the end of our flower stem for this card here. It's held in place with a glue dot at the very bottom. So we're gonna slip that in so it's not, it's gonna want to stick here before it's time. All right, now we're gonna stick some dimensionals on the back of this. Cut out flower already. This is a simpler version of that card. We don't have as many elements to it, but you still have the same idea. And then you can, of course, let's see here, we used our glue dots, dimensionals. Oh yeah, we were going to use some more sequins in there. So let's grab those, and our stamp pad, of course, and we're going to add some words at the bottom of our card. I had to stop the camera for a second there and figure out, why did I bring the snail out? This time I didn't need it. So we're just going to set that aside. And we've got our ink ready and our stamps ready, and we'll stamp Happy Birthday on here. And then we'll go ahead and add some sequins here and there. And here is that finished card. It's full of sequins. Maybe put too many on. So here are a couple versions using that same idea of a flower holder with the cellophane bag. I've already shared all of these projects and I have quite a few more to go. So I'm going to stop at this point and put the next projects on another video. So thank you for watching. It builds creativity to think outside the box. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can catch more paper pumpkin videos that I've shared using past kits and more that I'll share with future kits. Also, be sure to visit my blog at stampyourartout.com so that you can view close-up photos of all of these projects and see photos of other paper pumpkin kit ideas. If you're watching my video on YouTube, look for the links in my video description below. And to see some extra exclusive project ideas, get your paper pumpkin subscription started with me as your demonstrator. I hope you all enjoyed this video tutorial. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.